those prizes. In 3 minutes, I just want you to listen very carefully. The reason why we're doing this training, we're doing this here now, we did it in Imo State earlier, and we're also going to Nasarawa, we're going across Nigeria for only one reason. We know that in this hall today, there are some of you who all you need is just for someone to tell you how to start. And in the next few years, even Bill Gates will be begging to meet with you. How many of you know Bill Gates? How many of you know that he was very young when he started? How many of you know the guy called Steve Jobs? Okay? This smart computer, the iPhone that we all use, these things were created by young people. Many of them have not even finished university. Many of them started before they even got into university, which means that they were your age when they started thinking of these ideas. How many of you are already thinking of ideas that will change the world? How many of you? Raise your hand, raise your hand. Okay? I want you, please take your hand off, leave your hand off. I want the friends sitting around them to look at their hands right now. Look around. Those hands that you see up, I know some of you are looking at this one, you're raising your hand. They're asking for people that will change the world, you're raising your hand too. From my own personal story, you can put your hands down now. I know for a fact that you must never look down on anyone. So the 3 things I want to tell you, number 1, please don't look down on your colleagues and don't let anyone look down on you. Okay? Like Ebola told you, my teacher in GS3, so Federal Government College, you know. Okay? I always mention the name of the school, but never the name of the teacher, because I want people to know it's a true story, but I don't want to mention the teacher's name, because he meant well. But, you know, I got to the computer lab, we just got 2 new computers, and I said to him, I would like to go in there to use the computers. And, you know, it was, you know how teachers are very tall, they are very short. Though much later, teachers and you will be about the same height. You're not taller than them. So this teacher looked down and said, you can't understand how to use them. They are not people like you. Now, and I will say this, please, teachers, let's please be very careful what we say to our students. Because some of them will take it well, some of them will not take it well. If we're not careful, if you say anything nasty to them now, we don't know what tomorrow holds. Okay? This teacher said this, and the reason he said it was because there were only 2 computers in the whole school. This was in 1991. So there were not too many computers in all of Nigeria, and our school had 2. So he wanted to protect the computers. But guess what? I cried because, you know, I went there, my friends had gone there before. Wale Fatula had gone there, they allowed him because he already knew how to use a computer. When I went back to class, how many of you know that even though I was crying, I cleaned my eyes. GS3, boy coming back to class and crying. I didn't want the girls to make fun of me, so I stopped crying. But I made up my mind to do something. I decided I was going to learn how to use computers and also teach other people how to do it. And guess what? 2001, 10 years from that day, I was announced as Nigeria's ICT Youth Ambassador and also as the UN Ambassador in charge of Africa for the International Telecoms Union. Don't clap yet. Let me tell you the sweetest part of the story. That is not the sweetest part of the story. That was good. It meant that for the first time in my life, I went to the airport. I got into an airplane. I traveled. When I arrived in Johannesburg, they welcomed me. VIP section, okay? I'd always seen the airplanes flying, and we used to sing a song. I know you guys don't know the song, but so basically, I was announced, and I went, and I was invited back to the same school, Federal Government College in Rwanda, in 2001, sometime around April. I got to the school, I made a presentation, and guess who gave the vote of thanks? If you get this right, I'll clap for you. No, of course, good, the teacher. He meant well, like I said, he wasn't saying it because he gifted me. So what he said to the school when I finished my presentation was, when Sesan was in this school, we knew he would make it. How many of you know that success has many fathers, many mothers, many uncles, and many aunties? Don't let anyone look down on you. I wasn't angry. I actually did say thank you to him. Because guess what? What if he had not told me that? Maybe I wouldn't even have known what I'm doing now. Okay? Now, half of my work is to travel around the world to basically talk about computers to young people. I don't even know that's fun. It's fun, isn't it? It's a lot of hard work. Trust me. Okay? Number one, don't let anyone look down on you. Number two, start now. Look at your neighbor. Say, start now. Start now. I know you listened earlier to those who have gone online to check for information, to check for breaking news. Don't limit your use of the internet to just browsing. Don't limit your use of anything technology to just consumption. How many of you know that the people who designed many of these devices are young people? Okay? Many of them in Southeast Asia who only have secondary school education have been able to work in the companies. Some of them will make suggestions on how to make the keyboard better. They are young people. This is the age when if you start now, this is the age where you believe anything is possible. Okay? In the next few years, you might begin to think, okay, maybe this one is not possible. But now, you believe everything is possible, and this is where to start. And when I say start now, I mean that I'm not asking you not to be children, right? You're young people, you want to play and all that. But don't play away your future. Play in the present, but also walk towards the future. Okay? One of those times, I wrote a letter to my dad when I was in school. And I had access to a computer for about 18 months. We had a holiday, and I had one of two options. Either I would go home, I would wash the car every day, go to 28, I would fetch water, I would watch the video, latest movies and all that, or I would stay back on campus, learn how to use computers a lot more, learn a lot more about computers, and become a better person. So I wrote letters to my dad and I said, Daddy, I won't be coming home, but in the next few years, the things that I will learn will make you proud of me. Now, today, I am sure he's very proud of the son that he has. But the point is this: if I didn't start then, and I was waiting, how many of you know that if you start early, if you start running now towards that entrance, and somebody starts 1 minute later, or somebody starts maybe 2 minutes later, even if they can run faster than you, chances are that if you're already halfway, you will make it to the gates before them. Of course, there are those who are so fast that if they start even 10 minutes, how many of you know somebody that if you are already in the middle there and it starts now, he will get to the gates before you? Of course, Usain Bolt. How many of you know that Usain Bolt did not start today? Usain Bolt started running before he was your age. I'm sure you know that. I'm sure you know that. Okay? All the times his mother was sending him to go and buy something, he will run back home. Michael Phelps, who they call fish because of the way he swims. When others are practicing swimming and are practicing in the pool, where do you think Michael Phelps practices? He does not confine himself to pools, he confines himself to waters that have high currents. That's why when Usain Bolt is running, I'm sure you remember the Olympics, when he got midway, remember what he did? He looked back, as if to say, wait there. Okay? First of all, don't let anyone look down on you and don't look down on yourself. Number two, start now. Okay? Number three, and this is what I will close with. In the next few years, somebody in this room is going to become the greatest computer person that Nigeria has ever seen. Let me finish. That person is going to work hard. When others only cram what they learned in school, pass their exams, and forget it, that person is going to work harder than other people. Who is that person? If you are that person, stand up. If you are that young man, that young woman in this room today, that in the next 15 years, even when your teachers hear your name, they will say, it is me that taught him. It is me that taught her. Do me a favor. Don't hold anybody nowhere. Just pick a partner. Someone beside you. Make sure you have a partner. You don't have to look them, don't worry. Some of you may not like each other. Somebody will now do like this. Okay? I need you to look in your eyes and say this after me. Say, neighbor. Look at me very well now. Not only to my school, okay? Even me. Once I live here, this thing they call computer, this thing they call ICT, I will work hard. I will learn it very well. I will become a good. You will be seeing my name in the news. You will be hearing of the awards that I've won. And if you are good to me, I won't make you fill too many forms before you see me in my office. If you are that young man or young woman whose school will win today, and who will become the brightest and the biggest ICT guy or girl in the next few years, put your hands together for yourself. You can make some noise. Today, noise is allowed. It's okay. Alright. Take your seats. This is where the pilot will say, fasten your seatbelt, enjoy the ride, and may the best school win. This one is not by a man. This one is by the right answer. I'm your quiz master for today. If you waste time, I move on to the next person. My advice to you, work with your team. Right? We have 2 from each school representative. Don't jump too fast.